All right. So I'm at some little convenience store in Massachusetts, I believe. I'm driving up to Maine, and I ran into this guy here.
Hi there.
You might know him. Chip Beavais. Oh no, the Niblet, not even Chip. It's Niblet. Hey Chip.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm happy to run into you. So what I wanted to do with Chip here was, since I conveniently ran into him, it's a good time to talk about our stretch goal for Smoke and Mirrors. Chip, do you want to tell us about the double-backed card?
Yes, absolutely. So a lot of magicians, one of the special cards that they have to perform their tricks is a card that has a normal back and where the face would be, so it's a double-backed card. And you can use this, you can sneak it into a deck and force people to pick different cards, and you can also use it as a marker because when you flip over the cards, you'll know, you'll see the back. So it's a great card for magic tricks because it sneaks into a deck and it looks just like a normal card, and only the magician knows the secret.
So for Smoke and Mirrors, there's a couple of really cool things you can do with it. We're going to slip it into the swirl deck, which is the 1 through 5 with the mirror. And what are some of the little tricks you can do in Smoke and Mirrors with it?
So for example, if you're lucky enough to have the double-backed card, you could put it out with a card from the skull suit. Now remember that most of the cards in the skull suit are worth 5. But if you put out both the skull card and the spiral double-backed card and claim that it's 5, everyone's going to think you're lying. They'll know that the skull is obviously 5. They'll know that 5, with 2 cards, you can't produce 5 with a mirror. So the only way that those 2 cards would be a valid 5-bit is if you've snuck in the double-backed card.
So as the way I play, I would sneak that double-backed card in multiple things, or I would actually sneak in an orange card into multiple hands just to try to say it's a double-backed card. Another thing that I think is really cool about it is playing that double-backed card as a 2 or a 3, like in the early numbers. You know, the distribution is 7 cards in that suit, so it's a little more, it's a little less likely that anybody else will have the 2 or the 3. So sneaking any card in and trying to fudge it as the double-back would be interesting, but it would be a 0 as itself. So if somebody calls you out, you're shot, but it's just, one more cool chance for that. Well, we got a Kickstarter messages. Are your games printed in the US? I'll answer that later. Anything else, Chip? So where are you headed today?
Unfortunately, I just have to go into work, but every once in a while I'm at work, I check out the Kickstarter and see that we've picked up a few more backers, and that's great. It's great to see that all day.
I'm heading to eat some lobster, and I will be refreshing the entire way. So, cool. Well, it was good to see you at this random convenience store.
Yes, good to see you too.
And we have, you can see in the background, our kids and Sarah, the artist for the cover of Smoke and Mirrors. They're just kind of hanging out over there. And Chip's daughter, Eve. All right, cool. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you around.